Yeah, and looking at drafts, you know, I've much preferred what FUT Esports have been doing with their drafts today over Spacestation Gaming. Definitely more question marks for me on that side of the field. But nonetheless, you know, I think Spacestation Gaming can go back to their old ways. This is going to be very tough today, having looked at their performance. But for FUT Esports, very much the opposite. Absolutely on point. Haven't dropped a set today. They only dropped one set in the grand finals last month against Spacestation in June. You know, that's just one set over the course of 2 monthly finals so far to date. I mean, quite incredible stuff. And off the back of a LAN win as well, spirits have got to be high following that, and Brawl certainly a key component in that process.
Huge teams, larger than life. Across the way, we've got the FUT Esports guys, Kyle Dog, Firecrow, and Adinho. Is the Spacestation Gaming team for sure. FUT is going to be represented across the way, and so these are the once upon a time #1 team, and up until extremely recently, still the #1 team. I would venture, I think that FUT has leapfrogged for sure, but Spacestation has legacy. They have a long history of just being those guys. But from their performances today here, Trav, I'm going to need them to fix things, because not only did SK Kalalas threaten them, but also earlier, iWorlds was making some noise against them as well. And those teams, no disrespect to anybody, they're not FUT.
I mean, that's the thing. Those kind of teams shouldn't be putting up much of an issue for Spacestation. And, you know, the fact that they have been is quite worrying, considering how much of a breeze it's been for FUT Esports over the past 3 months now. They've won 2 in a row. And as I said, they won a LAN, and they're in winning ways, or winning form, I should say, here in July monthly final, the last of the year. And this decides it all. Spacestation, they won the first 2. They might have got to the final in the next ones, but they haven't been able to crack FUT for quite some time.
Going to be a tough one. Heist, hot potato is where we'll start. Trav, you went with FUT, as did the rest of us. Me and Ark are going to be on the horn, but any last words before we jump into the grand finals?
I mean, my last words are I'm surprised it's Spacestation sided. They might be higher on the leaderboards at the moment, but FUT seem to be the better team to me. So I'd have had this probably flip the other way in terms of predictions.
I think it's all about that fan power. Trav, thank you so much. Been a pleasure. We will see you after the jump. And Ark, yeah, I think this really illustrates, you know, Spacestation Gaming is a giant brand. Very cool of them to always be sticking around Brawl here and coming on through, repping this team. I think we've got history on Spacestation Gaming side, and of course, a little bit of that org love as well, as far as the fan vote is concerned. But very much a 50-50, if you ask the experts. Picks and bans are out. Colette, Ruffs, Crow, Meg, Frank, and one more as Rico. That's your favorite guy being picked up on that first overall.
Yeah, always a great thing to see. Love that. I love the ban for Frank as well. The Melody, quite a underrated ban, it seems like this month specifically, because she's dropped away from the meta somewhat, but definitely in Heist. Still one of her best game modes. Barley coming in as well. Again, the hypercharge really elevating that particular brawler, but there's still some options available. You know, looking at Nita, potentially here, Cole could break open a lot of this and distract away from what the Rico is trying to achieve. But then again, Spacestation go with the thrower first, implies that they're not really looking to break some of those walls because they want to keep them for the Barley. So the Gale coming in as well is a bit of a tank countermeasure, but the Frank is banned, so I'm not necessarily expecting too much on that front. Maybe FUT Esports might be considering a primo at some point, and that's kind of where they're putting that in the back pocket, because that is a bit of a FUT Esports pick.
I mean, Hot Potato is certainly a map that allows some tanks to be played here. The unbreakable walls really give some coverage to just kind of waddle up the map. I do think Gale, traditionally thought of as a tank counter, I think Gale is just a strong control brawler, whether or not you have a trillion HP points these days. So I'm a big fan of the Gale. I will admit that once upon a time, my favorite brawler might have been Squeak, but these days I might lean towards that old man. Different old man across the way, though. Mike and Surge rounding out the Rico draft.
Well, Chuck's available here, but the Surge is kind of a really good, strong counter to it, and that's why the Larry and Laurie as well. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know, that Surge really does shut down the Chuck pick. So despite it not being banned and being incredibly high in the ban rates and also the win rates, of course, I don't mind that adaptation towards the Larry and Laurie for the simple reason that the Surge on defense is that counter measure that FUT Esports have already put in place. So some smart drafting there on the side of FUT Esports and obviously Roll as well. So I quite like what they were thinking with it. Could Spacestation Gaming have already ventured towards it? I think so. It wouldn't have been out of the question and try to outplay that defense, but nonetheless, I think that double thrower could be tricky here for esports.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this draft coming out from Foot. They really wanted SSG to pick Chuck. The Mike and the Surge are going to disrupt the train man. They tried to bait Spacestation into picking the Chuck, and going Larry and Laurie was Giga Brain. This was real smart from Spacestation to avoid that bait. Oh, I got so excited about that draft. That was so cool for Foot. But now we got to play it on the battlefield. So jumping on in here. Hot potato. Right away. Just a tickle. Onto Foot's safe. As Firecrow walks out up here, might be able to get a little bit more damage now on that left side lane. Motep barely alive though, so Adinho might be able to shut down this mid.
Well, Motep running multiple launcher, and I think a retreat there as well as a star power, but I wouldn't have minded, honestly, bouncing castles for the heals on this particular map, considering the matchup, but nonetheless, going to be going for some of those potential shots to ricochet through the walls and find their targets. Obviously, Motep wants that hypercharge realistically there, and he can really cause some problems, but so far, SSG doing pretty well on the defensive there. Good connection from Motep, but not too much more than anything more than any takedowns there. You believe popping the gadget there as well. I think he really does need to get off those surge stacks. He's been struggling this game so far, and SSG doing a great job to deter against getting him forwards in terms of that progression.
Yeah, the usage of the throwers to deny Hoobi any real use of that super to level up, big deal. And also, you know, I see what you're saying about the bouncy castle, but the damage output that Motep has with some of the other options, real smooth there. You see him winning on the left side with that multi-ball. So a nice play here coming out from Foot. But unfortunately for them and their fans, Spacestation winning by a lot, actually. Almost unscathed at 98% and dealing just under 40 to their opposition, Foot.
In that huge bomb from Dynamix opened up so much of the map, which is not helping the Surge in any way. It was a great draft idea to really counter out that Chuck beforehand of seeing it, but now it's really being the thorn in their side, and Jubilee just really struggling to really find anything much to help his team. And but Esports are behind. Big blow there from the Gales, knocking down then put Esports into a different position. They can't really do much to defend this at all either. It's going to go the way of Spacestation Gaming for this first game. Certainly some learnings to be had from Foot on this first outset, because that was pretty solid.
I mean, this was really solid, and it's kind of funny because I'm oversimplifying here. Spacestation Gaming are smart guys that do good drafts sometimes, and Foot absolutely have the mechanics. But in an oversimplification, you could look at this as brains versus brawn, right? Spacestation Gaming, Cowdog just is known for just being better than you, and then Foot has really made a name for themselves on the way of the draft. And Foot, I think, had a beautiful draft, but Spacestation Gaming big-brained it. They didn't take the bait, and they're playing around the Surge real nicely. So this is Spacestation Gaming playing intelligently rather than just fuerte, and I like it.
Again, Juby just really struggling to get anything from this Surge pick. Nice stun there from Pekka. The follow-up as well is good. It's got super now to hand. Might be able to find a connection on Adini, but it is a high-risk thing to do. Motep still doing a good job of this left-hand side, but it is SSG that are showing a lot of resistance for the defense, and Foot just can't seem to break through. Motep not going to find the kill that he needs him to fire on the left-hand side, but Adini falls. Pekka on the right-hand side is doing work right now.
Cowdog suffering. Hoobi stepping forward, trying to make the play here, but he waits. He doesn't have the ammo. He doesn't take the shot. Jumping on and getting the turnaround onto the Gale, making a bad situation into a slightly better one. And this time around, Arc, 20% done by Foot. A much better look for them here.
Yeah, Hoobi's in a much better spot, but Pekka now back in, and SSG in a very commanding position. Last call there from Cowdog will connect. The big bomb won't see his demise, and very, very close game. But now with SSG running through the mid, the shot's going to be landing on this safe. Firecrow going to the left-hand side to try to take care of Motep. Does so as well, and he's going to stay in position. That's going to be terrible for Esports. Pekka is getting some shots on the safe. Dynamite not going to do the most on the safe, though. Big bomb going to find a connection to Cowdog. The blowback is there. He's able to survive, and he's got a hypercharge now as well. The last call on the safe is going from bad to worse for Esports.
Real rough there for the mic. You've got to make those plays, Pekka. And most of the time, Pekka does make those plays. But a little bit of a whiff on there allows the Barley to step forward, use that HC like you were talking about, and do a ton of damage to the objective. Hoobie getting walked down here by the puppet. 23% remains for Foot. Hoobie does get the kill here, but they have a lot of work to do with just 20 seconds left.
Big bomb, big connection again from Peck, and the follow-up is there from Motip, and Motip goes down. 12% left on the safe, and Firecrow's in a great spot to be down to land the final blow here as the Dino comes through the middle as well. They do find it. Spacestation Gaming will take the first set.
I'm unbiased in this matchup. I really don't care who wins, Foot or Space Station. We're getting a good show either way. What I'm biased for, I want game 3s every set. I want to go to set 5 after 3 games every time. No more of this 2-0 nonsense, okay? Barry, first pick overall.
Yeah, one I can get behind for sure. Larry and Laurie banned, Surge and Barley for Foot, Max, Kit, and Frank for Space Station Gaming. I think this is actually a very strong Gale map, despite Frank being banned here as well. Could be definitely worth consideration here. Meg gonna be the first choice for Space Station Gaming, and therefore I would like to see it kind of paired with that Gale actually, because it could be quite a tough thing to counteract. Buster has a good time on this map as well. We haven't really seen too much of that particular brawler here today, but nonetheless, I feel like it does have quite a strong spot here. Sandy as well. You know, Chester going to be the brawler of choice here for Space Station Gaming, but I mean, there's plenty still of options available here for Esports to snap up.
By the way, if you're just joining us for our grand finals here, Barry made an appearance earlier, a couple of times, once on the B stream, once over here as well. Barry did 1,289 healing per second in the last time we saw him. He also lost that game and set, for what it's worth. Those numbers are certainly something to think about. The Gale and the Rico going to team up with the Barry. Something I did note in that last one was that Barry wasn't dealing any damage outwards. So a little bit of play style, because Barry doesn't have to do anything different to heal versus deal. It's just aim, right? Hit your opponent instead of your teammate. And the Rico going to bring some damage here, but some strong control out of the Gale. It's a well-rounded composition arc. I am worried they might lack some damage, but we'll see.
Stu, I mean, that's going to be Kai Dog for sure all day long. I just worry a little bit about that Gale on the side of Foot Esports. This map can be shut down so easily with a Twister, a single Twister. I mean, often we see the Spring Trap come in a lot more these days, but on Brawl Ball, without a wall break, except for the Chester, which is a bit more RNG as to whether you're going to be able to land that wall break anyway, or the Stu, sure, but I mean, Speed Zone for me would probably be the better of the gadgets on this particular map, maybe not. I mean, ultimately, it would be better to bring in, for me, the wall break potential, because it is quite hard to be able to bring the ball forward. So I think we can expect it on the Stu, to be fair, but nonetheless, the Gale can just shut down so many opportunities. You can just place it on top of the ball even in those moments of peril. So let's see how SSG come out of the gates, because I do worry that Stu pick in the hands of Kai Dog, we know what he can do, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about this Stu pick as we see Space Station Gaming aggression paying off here. Right side cleaned up, left side as well. Mid, the Dino goes ahead and score. And a lot of times when you look at Stu, it's about playing defense and dodging opponents' shots. Well, you're not dodging much out of Foot between Barry and Gale. But that's not what KD was doing that first push. He was just being aggressive and gliding around the server. So a nice look there from SSG, but the response from Foot, that's a little bit more of what I expected to happen to any other Stu. It's Kyle Dog Stu, so okay, that's why it happened, but yeah, we'll take a look as SSG on the offensive again.
Just stunned on the right-hand side there from Jubilee, but Carlos amazingly he's there for the pass as well, and he gets it. The super shot is there, and the Space Station Gaming take the first game in spectacular fashion so quickly. I mean, that was a bit of a miss from Foot Esports to leave him open. It's a Stu, he's gonna have super available.
Yeah, 1 trillion%. That was just a real football moment, you know? That was just trying to do the splits there. Defender not quick enough. So unfortunate here for Foot Esports. Down a set, and on set point as well for Space Station, who all 3 of commentators up here went with Foot. All 3 of us said that Foot had a cleaner day than Space Station Gaming, and honestly, it's the truth. They did. But Space Station Gaming have come into this grand finals like a bat just coming out. Friends with Mortis. They're making it happen here. Pass to Kyle Dog in the mid. And Arc, a little bit slower of a game this time around.
Yeah, it's very tough to defend with this Rico pick, and it's, you know, it's a great brawler, don't get me wrong, it's got a 60% win rate, but it's just very difficult, especially with the Mega with so much survivability. Kaido being able to evade so many shots is really troublesome, really here for Foot Esports. They can't seem to shake with Kaido there, and Dino, nice stun there. Oh no, I was gonna say if that went in, it would have been beautiful from Kaido, but you can see how dangerous he is as that Stu. He's just everywhere to be seen now with the takedown from Pekka. Somewhat of a saving grace here, but Foot Esports are looking shaky at best. They've got to start to get back to winning ways. Pekka's got the hypercharge as well, so maybe they can make something work here. There's no goal on the side from SSG just yet, so they can get one in the pocket, try to bring this back to set even, but Micro there with the takedown, opening up some space. It's a bad position here for Foot.
Motep gets aggressive towards KD. Spacestation Gaming in general fall back. 45 seconds on the clock, scoreless after all that. And SSG guarding the ball. They're looking for a big pass play. Set Kyle Dog up, I think. Firecrow's the one holding at the moment, but good attention from Hoobie to pay attention to Stu there. Now counting down from 20. It looks like the ball might be pushed onto the red side of the map. Pekka with the ball passing to Hoobie. Walk up mid will meet resistance.
It's going to be a walking potential here. It's down to Pekka and he does score it. It's just in the nick of time. 10 seconds. It's no time at all for Spacestation Gaming to get a return, but they're going to try for it, forcing themselves through the mid. Pekka stuns it out, gets a great connection as well, and that's going to be it for this game. And Foot Esports tie it up. What an opportunity now ahead of themselves.
A little bit, listen, nothing is lucky when you're talking about teams this strong at this stage of the contest, but they snuck that one through. They really snuck that one in there.
Great stuff. I mean, now a perilous position for Foot, because if they lose this game, down 2 sets they will be. For Spacestation Gaming, they've got to be able to secure this, or Foot will be able to equalize and make it 1 set each. That would be the more appealing actually option for me, to be honest. I want to see this be going to the final set, let's be honest. Pekka finding Kaido in a really nice spot into that corner, gets the takedown as well. This comb's got great pop-off potential, but it's very hard to make work on the defense. But on the offense, you can see now, Foot Esports are cooking.
That's the Rico performance that this team was expecting. Ladino barely hanging on. Kyle Dog can't do it. With the voice line, and they just get hit by everything coming out from Rico. A couple of players stand up, but it doesn't matter. They just walk it on home.
What an aggressive outset that was. Pekka went absolutely to town, getting so many balls into that back net and just nowhere for SSG to go, and with the support from the heals as well from the Berry. But now the defense, this is where this comp struggles, and I'm a bit concerned now that, you know, Kaido's going to be coming back down the map as well with that Rico, with that Stu pick rather. It can break through, it can get a great shot on goal. We've already seen that Foot Esports drop the ball. They can't afford to do it now.
Kyle Dog drawing the ire of Pekka here, who has been the difference maker from game 1 to game 2. And it's been Pekka for me. Really seeing the Rico step up and make himself known here. 3-on-2, but not really a goal scoring opportunity. A minute on the clock, and Foot want to play stall. They've cornered the ball in their whole game to just keep Spacestation Gaming away. So far, so good, but a minute's an eternity. Wasted 20 seconds so far. Still 40 on the clock, though.
You are worse than me.
Yeah, as long as Hoobie can just keep everything suppressed for Kaido, because he is the key realistically here. He's got a twist of the hand that will go on the ball surely towards the end of this matchup. So a couple of seconds less really on the side of SSG to be able to push this unless they find a takedown of him. He's got hypercharge as well. He's looking for his super. Now he's got it as well. So this is a very tough position for SSG to actually push into. Firecrow's going to make for the run for the ball. No shots were made. Hypercharge is all left, right, and center though. And their team wipe surely. Kaido's the last pawn remaining, and he should fall here, but he's going to stay alive. It doesn't really matter. There's no time to get the ball back down the field, and this is going to be it. The set is going to be tied up for Esports equalize.
Shifting gears here over to Flaring Phoenix. The Jeans, the Ticks, the RTs banned out, and Barry's gone alongside Frank and Piper, says Space Station. So first pick overall going to the Foot Esports squad, and it is the kit left open. Hoobie will pick the cat.
I was dying to call it as well. I could see it staring me in the face. I mean, it's knockout, you know, it's just like, it's gonna happen. Lily, though, is still available, quite a high ban rate for good reason. Buster is a really solid pick as well. They've got to take that away on the side of SSG from Foot Esports, to be honest, and that could be going for them. It could be going against them. It's never a bad pick, but certainly with the kit, it can do a lot more harm than good for Foot Esports, so better in their hands. Definitely wouldn't mind a thrower here to be had. Meg gonna come in. I mean, it's definitely a solid shout, but throwers here really can be quite rife, and Tick already banned out, but certainly Larry and Laurie can do a lot. Sprout here can do some wondrous stuff as well, so can shut down a lot of ideas in the puff ban. Pretty smart on the side of things, but Angelo still open here, can cause some big problems. Mandy can come in for Foot Esports, so no doubt some range response is going to be there on the side of Spacestation.
I think Spacestation just have to respond to the kit choice with two brawlers that do well. You know what I mean? Like the Buster and the Meg. I'm here with you. But I think that's why we see the Meg show up and the Shelly. Oh, y'all got tanks? What's up? Thump, thump, right? Like, that's what you do there. So Food have the Shelly kit combo. Mandy's going to hang out from a distance. And Space Station, there's that LNL that you were asking for. On the Space Station side, though, you like it?
I do like it. Shelly's a bit underrated here, actually. It can, if it pops off, and I'm assuming probably Pekka going to be on it, or maybe Pekka will be actually on the Mandy potentially, because it's a lot of long range stuff. But I mean, it can do some work. I have some reservations on it, though. It really does have to do work. You know, you're kind of banking on those like final moments in the gas. You can then have your opposition really force run you and just overthrow you, but let's see. I mean, it's good into Buster, it's good into Meg. We know that. That's two brawlers which Pekka's going to have a great time into. So let's see. But you see, SSG rushing straight in. And there's a potential double takedown here to happen on the side of SSG. That's huge. That's exactly how you play us against the Shelly. And as quickly as that, the round is theirs.
Huge play there from Space Station. I think they caught Foot sleeping just a little bit. I don't expect to see that happen again and again and again. One of the big things that wind up happening there is they deny Kit any ability to kind of like, you know, play that round, right? Like they don't want her to, she's scary, or he's scary rather. And so like, just, run at them, can't do the Kit thing. Round two, we'll have to worry about it. Everybody on Foot has a super, but round one, nah, just walk forward. Don't let him do anything. Hit him in the face.
I really do admire the way the SSG really are inside the minds of Foot Esports today, though. It always seems to be these two teams that just seem to know each other inside out. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense. They often are swapping rosters together. So, but ultimately, this is what Foot Esports were looking to achieve in the first game, is to sit back and wait for their time. But this time round, SSG have already got the lead. It's down to Foot to make the move. And in the overtime stages, you know, this is where Buster can really shut down the Shelly. So I'm a bit concerned here for Pekka. The first side of the move is on the side of Foot, and SSG take care of house. It's 2 versus 2, 1 versus 2 now. Pekka's got to go all in on this one. It's not going to be an easy task whatsoever. And SSG clean it up. Very nicely done. And take the first game a knockout.
First time Space Station Gaming took advantage just by playing fast, exactly that aggression. Second time they meter it, and they let Foot make their own mistakes. Kit going in for the stun almost looked like, you know, a ranked play. Where are your teammates? Nobody's within range. A little bit rough there for Hoobie as he jumps on a target and immediately gets turned on when his teammates have their hands in their pockets.
It's exactly the play for SSG. They've got to go aggressive early on before the utility starts to land for Pekka, for Motep. So that didn't work out nearly as well as the first game, however. So
ready for
have to rethink it. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing now for Foot Esports. They've learned their lesson. They can't afford that to happen twice, but might put Foot Esports in a better spot going into overtime. So SSG can't take their foot off the gas here. They've got to continue to keep the pressure on, but this is exactly what Foot were looking to try and achieve with this this kind of pick. Now the Buster's got shielding as well with the montage, so it's not going to be looking too great into overtime. Foot needs to kind of go now, ready.
Well, Hoobie's thinking about that super. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Gas coming on through. Hoobie taking a swim. Pekka and Hoobie left side. Motep by himself. Does have that long range though. Players pushing in now. Damage onto Dog, and the Buster falls down. Kit making it work. The 2v1 versus Firecrow certainly going to go the way of Foot. Nice adaptation here from Foot. I saw a couple of things, mainly Hoobie grouping up with the team. What caught your eye there that brought home the victory for Foot?
Well, the timing looked a little bit too late for me, but they made it work, and that was the time to go. Putting the kit on the opposite on their own side and using it as the throw, I think was quite key. Rather than just going in and immobilizing, getting that additional support, additional healing, keeping Peck alive. He is the kind of key to this comp working. He's the person that counters the Meg, counters the Buster. So you want to keep that brawler alive. So I think that was kind of smart to really combine the kit with the Shelly in that overtime scenario there. Now, just both sides waiting it out, and of course, now the couple box coming out for Hubli. He might not be expecting this on the side of Kai Dog. Coming in, 1, 2, gets 3, swipes them back. I quite like that from him. He's getting some good utility along the way, just keeping the pressure on, keeping SSG cautious around where he might be.
Yeah, if Kit winds up getting that, I really like the discipline there. Kit goes for the kill, and if it happens, hooray. If it doesn't, run away. A lot of players wind up sticking around too long there and dying. But now, it's time to go. Gas coming in here, bad positioning from Food. Kit might win this on the left-hand side. And here comes Pekka. Big shots out of the shotgun Shelly. But it's not good enough to find the exclamation point. Adinho winds up winning it there. He's got an extra life. Meg wins it again.
Yeah, great there from Kai Dog. I mean, he is the person who's the best to stay on Pekka in those scenarios, and it almost went the way of Foot. That tiny little shot from the Meg out of mech form is never a good way to go, but very close. Pekka got some great value towards the end of those final seconds, but now such an important round. If SSG can capture this, there'll be 2 sets to 1. If the esports can do so, then they'll be tied up in the games, and this set will continue on. Both sides for that same reason, then not being overly aggressive. They want to be cautious. I want to see more from Motep. I want to see a Mandy super that really kind of strikes home. Haven't really seen that from him just yet, and that might go a long way here.
I think this is a must-win for Foot. I think if it goes 2 above 1, I think we wind up seeing the spaceman sweep, so to speak, the 3-1. Here comes the Kit combining with the teammate. Motep gets the long-range kill, and Pekka gets the close-range kill. Still have to deal with the Meg. Pekka from around the corner, the stun, wins it. Like that, we are tied up here in Knockout.
I feel like Foot Esports have got their speakers on. They must do, because like as soon as I call it, Motep comes in with the goods and gets to take down the Larry and Laurie and just see how much of a difference it makes. You need that kind of takedown prior to those chaos moments in those final seconds of knockout. It really does turn the tables massively. Let's see in this early outset what Foot Esports try to achieve here, and both sides looking to play the passive approach. So SSG actually adapting themselves, not going on the aggressive this time round. And it would be the play for me, but they want to get Kaya Dog super first hand before they do anything else and go from there realistically. But if they do find Motep's shots, if Esports start to push forward just a little bit and creep forwards here, then Motep could find a few taps here and there, and then that super does mean a lot more.
We did find one. Kaya Dog to push up to try and punish it. A round that starts before the gas. A good one. Not making fun of that strat, by the way. I think it's good for everybody but Motep. Shorter range brawlers here. And even then, I mean, Motep obviously has still been successful, but it really is about Kit being by himself. I think that's one of the bigger issues that Food has had. And once Hubie groups up, we start to see a little bit more success.
Oh, Motep in a really tough spot, but he finds 2! Oh my goodness me, what an amazing clutch from him! It was looking bleak until that moment in time, and Foot Esports just come out of the gates and get a massive round!
Oh, the lineup for the Collat Blat, just like that. Motep. That is the entire reason they select Mandy. That's the, yeah, I bet you're mad, dude. You just got Mandied. That's a little rough. Great, man. That's just fun to watch.
Incredible stuff, and literally as soon as I call it, Motep starts absolutely popping off with the utility we were waiting for him to connect with. And now what a fantastic opportunity. Look at this for Esports of supers on all 3 sides of things. They can just wait their time, and SSG know that this is looking kind of bleak at this stage in time. They're about to go 2 sets up, and now they're potentially looking at being 1 set down here. 2-1 is going to go away regardless for one of these two teams, but for Space Station Gaming, they need 2 rounds now. The gas is closing in. Dog has got to come in really huge here. He's got to deflate what Pekka's going to bring here and try to put his team back on the map.
Hoobie's thinking about the super. It will be the backpack. Hoobie and Pekka hang out. Motep fires the super, but it's blocked by Kyle Dog. Fantastic use of the montage. The double players coming on through. Hoobie winds up winning it all by himself in the end.
Require a full reverse sweep for Space Station Gaming to earn a ticket to the World Finals. That is a huge ask. There's so much pressure on that kind of thing, regardless of the the reward. And today is the day to get it right. So, for Esports, first pick and make bans being Colette, the Surge, and the Lou for open business. For Hot Zone, Kit, Gale, and the Larry and Laurie are banned out by Space Station Gaming. 2 picks to follow up here. Frank isn't banned here. The Gale is banned, so the Kit as well. Yeah, I mean, it kind of had to be. I mean, it's definitely open to some counters, no doubt about that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Sandy, even that's kind of quite a tough one to play into sometimes, and Sandy can get some good value off the back of a Frank, but I mean, ultimately, it's a good starting hand. They need to counter with this Chester. I was thinking of something a bit of a harder counter to have on that side of the field, because Spurt Esports now can really have their choice of what they want to do to deal with this Frank wall break. They can just go to town, and something that's going to be quite hard to deal with on the side of Space Station Gaming.
Certainly something we got to keep an eye on. Barley thrower making himself known here. More important than thrower, important because of the map specific, but more important than the fact that he's a thrower is that area denial. He can cover the entire point with his super. That's also why Lou is banned out, covers the entire point with that super. And another Griff showing here in our monthly finals, in our grand finals of our monthly finals, as teams try to make themselves to world finals. And finally, Space Station Gaming looking at their final selection. How many times did I say finals?
I'll be honest, I wasn't counting. Stu.
Well, Stu's going to be here.
Yeah,
going for Stu to make it count.
I really wanted to shout out Griff, but I kind of do worry a bit about the lack of synergy between the Griff and the Barley. I mean, they're going to be depending upon leaving one side closed and opening up the other side, but then if the Frank wants to deviate and try to focus on the other side, then, I mean, it's a tough thing. They just can't open too much of the map on the side of Pekka or Foot Esports and Adino as well, or whoever's on that Frank. They can just sit behind the wall, and despite the Barley being there, it's like, especially when you got hypercharge and super, you're going to force back the Barley no matter what. But Esports might not have this necessarily in the draft. For me, I mean, possibly. They've certainly got the momentum, and that's the thing that counts the most in their circumstances right now, getting straight onto the zone. But watch out for this Frank. If it lands the shot and Kaido pops off as well, this could be control lost quickly.
Motep going with that healing tonic. Kind of prototype berry here. The super gonna shove players off that center point, but Kyle Dog wins the duel versus Hoobie. And even though Pekka beats down Adino, he beats him down on the other side of the map. So Space Station Gaming have just been able to hang out this entire time, getting a third of the hot zone accomplished. All from, honestly, just a spacing from Adino.
This is my worry now. With the Barley there behind the wall, it's just not going to help out massively. So when Adino's got super and he's able to land it like that, consecutively so, and just kind of be so accurate with it, so consistent with it, kind of popping from the right-hand side, exactly what he needs to do, allowing Adino to stay up the front and just keep the pressure on. And in the meanwhile, look at this, 7 to 63%. Space Station Gaming is starting to run away with this game.
Man, look at Kyle Dog. This is the Stu performance that we were talking about. Question for you, Ark. I'll hold it. 90% here. Pekka trying to do anything to make it stop, but it just can't stop, won't stop. Space Station Gaming, game 1. Here's my question. Kyle Dog, best Stu in the world?
I've heard, well, Semantic himself, who's renowned as being one of the best stews in EMEA, certainly last year, he himself said that he couldn't do the things that Dog does, and I think that carries a lot of weight. I mean, certainly there's a lot of tech going on in APAC, but I would say like that he's probably, in my opinion, the best stew in the world. I would like to see someone from APAC go against him this year, because they've been renowned for being very technical in that stew side of things, but he is just amazing, and he's doing everything that he has to do in this scenario. This is the perfect time for Spacestation Gaming to bring this back, and I did have my concerns about the draft. Who are we going to break open the entire left-hand side already wise, and maybe even break the right as well? But I think Look here, it's just ridiculous how often he's able to stay alive.
I mean, man, 29 HP, that's 28 more than he needs. This is, we bring it up all the time. Firecrow, Adinho, Dog, all three of these players are legends in their own right. But honestly, when the going gets tough and you need somebody to play hero ball, I wind up looking at Dog. This guy makes it happen. The ultimate comes out from Hoobie, and Dog still able to take him down. It is a trade because Pekka's there. Not traded on the point. 50% done here by SSG. And counting.
Yeah, it's really tough hypercharge now for Adinho. Not going to find anything off the back of it, but just to keep the scare tactics alive, it works. You know, take it out of mech now, really tough for him. Frank Smash not going to connect either. Hoobie's staying alive here on the left-hand side until then, and this is a really tough thing. I worried so much about this Barney against the Frank. It's just not able to really do much at all, and it just tickles the Frank, doesn't it, realistically here. One final ditch attempt for Esports to try to bring this one back. They clear out the Frank. Dog is weak, one shot away. Pekka finds it as well. Maybe, just maybe, but Esports can claw this one back.
Very important to take down that Dog, but it is 13% remaining for Space Station, and just now Food are passing that halfway point. So I think Space Station can lose this if they get a little too crazy, try to take this point too fast, but they come on, meter. Dog looking for Hoobie, helping is Firecrow, and great performance from Space Station, but man, I'm shouting out KD. We wind up just seeing the other bands come out. We wind up seeing the Bells, the Nannies, and the Ticks, and the RTs, and all right, we're just banning all the long-range stuff. So there's that for sure. Angelo is open, and SSG could go in that direction, but it's going to be the Pearl brawler that we've seen a fair amount of. I'd say she's a nice medium level selection. Ton of damage, obviously able to come out, and big shield potential. But I'm with you, man. I think the Meg is really valuable.
Definitely one to consider picking up, I would say. Yeah, I mean, his first pick potential is not quite there for the bans. I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it escapes through every single time. So, and on this map as well, you know, it can be really hard to push into as well.
She's on that cusp for me. Like the textbook tells you not to ban her because there's other brawlers to ban. But if you ban her, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So Gene, gonna be paired up here with the Meg. You don't want to get pulled into that sword. So certainly a nice look here as option over to Space Station.
8-bit. Ooh, that's an interesting one from SSG coming in. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Can outrange the Meg quite nicely so, and I mean, it's definitely going to struggle a little bit for maneuverability. That's where something. I'm surprised that Space Station banned the Max, to be honest, considering that going in with 8-bit and Pearl, both very slow and sluggish brawlers. I mean, Brock is going to be their third and final pick on this draft, and I don't mind it. It's always going to be a solid one. The wall break going to come in quite handy potentially here as well to allow both the Pearl and the 8-bit to do more, but so far, Esports got a really good, solid starting hand draft here. I'm a little bit concerned. Byron's coming in as well. I mean, that behind the Meg, going to keep that more survivability in check, and the heals from the Gene as well. There's a lot of heals on the side of Foot Esports now.
Is the wall break that important to pick Brock over Angelo?
Good question, to be fair. I mean, Angelo being open as well. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Brock. You can open up and allow the Angelo to do more as well. I mean, I would kind of keep the Brock and maybe change out the 8-bit, to be completely honest. But that's just me. I mean, so certainly the walls can have a lot of weight behind the damage booster, and the maneuverability that 8-bit requires can be, you know, therefore protected. But, you know, it's interesting to me. I wasn't expecting the 8-bit, I'll be honest.
Yeah, also a little bit uncharacteristic of this map. Usually we see throwers. Obviously, Hoobie in a very comfortable position if he could throw over that wall. Same thing with Firecrow. If he could throw over that wall, very comfortable. this is a map that we see a lot of throwers on. So, interesting switch up here. Scoreless, just the blue star. That one went to Space Station. So it's up to Foot to play aggressively here. And they're kind of starting just about now.
There's the pull from Motep. The connection is there. Firecrow will fall 2 stars to 1. The blue star was collected by Space Station Gaming, so that will stay there. But just the 1 kill so far in this game. And now for Esports repositioned out of that mid and on those back lines. Never a great place to be. 50 seconds on the clock as well. So plenty of time for SSG to work themselves together and work out a correlated push together here. But Stabby just sitting behind that wall, sort of swipe to hand as well. Kydog just jumped at the right time. I was going to say Rocket Laces there, really coming in nicely helpful.
Yeah, a little out of position. Forces a button. Makes it work, though. All right, 8-bit totem down. And that damage booster going to come in clutch here. If they hit a shot, it's just Dog that's busting up walls at the moment. The response from Motep and P.E.K.K.A is decent to shove the players out. And the pull is bad. Still, 2-1. There's the change. Firecrow puts down P.E.K.K.A. Space Station with the lead on the retreat.
I actually didn't mind the pull to give it a damage booster, but in the meanwhile, they just dropped the ball and took down a player of Foot, and now they give Space Station Game the lead. No time for ability to turn it around either. I mean, I didn't mind the pull, but I mean, that was the problem for them, was they were just conceding so much damage, but the timing wasn't quite right, and Foot Esports may have just lost this set. They've got to be able to now really recollect and come back with something astronomical. Space Station might be running away with this.
Yeah, you know, I see what you're saying there. You know, you take down the damage booster, and then you're able to fight into it a little bit more. Ah, man. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. If Foot get a player, they get the star, they play a completely different game. Foot, this time, have the blue star. They're still a little aggressive. They're also spread out here, Arc, and I don't love that.
It was a great idea from Foot. Just bad timing. Just bad timing now. Nice from Motep, though. Gets a pick-up 5. We're going to maybe be able to take him down here from P.E.K.K.A. Heals himself as well to get out. Oh, but just the respawn was unkind. Nonetheless, 5 stars now with Foot to the 3 of Space Station Gaming. Again, a ticket for Worlds is on the line. If Space Station Gaming win this game, they are going to Worlds and forcing Foot Esports to go for the LCQ. There's the pull. It's opened up the walls now as well, which could prove quite helpful.
That time it did land on the damage booster, and, well, twice. Gotta think it's on purpose. They are listening. They are thinking the same lines of thought as you are. 9-5, Foot with the lead, but 60 seconds to go. That is an eternity. Space Station Gaming definitely can fight into this one, but everybody on Foot, clean and clear, very healthy, unafraid to go into this match.
Good taps from P.E.K.K.A. onto Kydog now, keeping him low as, again, especially within like a damage booster, Brock can do so much on this map. 35 seconds now, not much time. Just on the left-hand side, trying to force Jubilee there as well, and P.E.K.K.A. gets some heals, which he is now as well, keeping him in the mix. It'll be a tough thing to take down. Nice splash from P.E.K.K.A. The follow-up is there as well. 15 stars to Foot, 5 to Space Station Gaming, and that might be enough to secure this game, but it's not over yet.
Still, 17 seconds to count down from Adinho, Dog, Firecrow in the mid, but Kyle falls down. Great pull from the team player. Hoobie's there to follow up, and they're going to hit the ceiling. Worlds comes down to a single game of bounty.
That gene pull on the turret worked out so much better for Foot because they got it early. They were able to work so much with the map, whereas previously to that, Space Station Gaming handed down in the last final seconds, and the pull then just took away from what could have been a kill. Now, one game to decide who goes to Worlds, who goes to LCQ. Will it be Foot? Will it be Space Station Gaming?
I don't have the answer. The people that do have the answer, P.E.K.K.A, Hoobie, Motep, Firecrow, Dog, Adinho. These players hold the answer. Firecrow gets held by Motep and pushed by Hoobie. 3-0, blue star included for Foot.
Great start for Esports. Huge pressure there on the top left-hand side. Firecrow's down to 100 HP. Adinho came in just the nick of time there to help out. But it's put Kydog in a tough spot there, handing over more utility over to Motep, who looks for the magic hand. We've seen just how pivotal it can be in this series. If they lead in too much to that, They're going to be able to secure yet another kill on the side of Foot, but let's see how SSG respond.
Great play by Firecrow here. Hubi has been doing a lot of the work tanking for Foot, and Firecrow targeting the Meg. Knocks her out of the mech. Pekka's been able to heal her just a little bit and back on in just as quick as she fell out. So still a little closer this time. 1 kill gives Space Station Gaming the lead, but it's 3/2. 40 on the clock. Arc, Space Station on the offensive.
Got to get that turret, but there's only 30 seconds on the clock. They prefer to get a kill realistically in this position. They've got the blue star, but one single person on the side of Foot that falls. It's going to give SSG the lead now. So much on the line. Gadget from Pekka. Good shots followed from to Kaidog as well, but this push is looking scary to me, and Hubili is out of the mech.
Again, problematic. That's going to put a damper on Foot. Old school bounty time. 11 seconds is when you go, and Space Station are pushing forward. The damage booster is down. Jumping in, but pulled in. Kyle Dog gets the upper hand. And Space Station Gaming, they take the kills. They take the match. They're going to Worlds.
The Gene Hypercharge just came back to bite for Esports in the foot. And SSG couldn't be happier. Look at the celebrations. They can't believe it themselves. So happy to be going straight to Worlds. I had my money on Foot Esports. I thought that Gene Pool looked good to me, but the follow-up just was not there. And Foot Esports with their heads in their hands. Oh my word.